Hello and welcome to this session. In this session, we look at set operators. So SQL set operators are used to combine the results of two or more select statements into a single result set. Okay, so we'll see examples and it will make clear for you. So the set operators like we have union, union all, intersect, and minus. So these are the set operators we have. So we'll look at this with an example. So first, let's look at an union and union all. Okay, so here is one data set, right? So I have I could have written select star from EMP, select star from EMP. These are two different tables. Okay. Now see, observe this, right? The two different tables, we have this same number of columns, right? So here we have three columns, here we have three columns. And also the data type is same. Like this is ID data type is number. Here we have number name here, both of them ename and name, basically they both are string and salary number, right? Again, okay, so the column names can change, but the column type and the column type, data type, and the number of columns should be same. Like if we have here 3, we should also have here 3, and if we have data type number here, which is the first column, the first column of this table should also be number. So we will see, like if we put the different formats, like what will happen. But this is how the set operators should be. Like the data set should have the same data type when you're trying to uh, do the set, and number of columns should be same. So what happens here, right? Okay, see, you have 1 2 3 4 5 Robin 23,000, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 Nash 2,000, and here you have employee ID need 9990 and 9991. So union and union all basic. See, union, what it does is it basically combines this data set, two of the data sets. So here this data set 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 6, and this data set it basically just adds this data set, right? So union all also does the same thing. Then what is the difference between union and union, right? So main difference, the only difference is if there is a duplicate record. Like for example, if this record 1 2 3 4 5 6 Nash 2000 20,000, this record is available here, union will eliminate the duplicates and union all will retain the duplicate. That's the only difference between union on union all. Okay, so the next thing that we'll see, the intersect. So intersect basically, see, when you do an intersect between these two tables, it will basically give you the record which is common between these two tables. So in this example, this is that record 1 2 3 4 5 Robin 23,000. This is the record that is common between these two tables. So the result will be that record. So that is what intersect is. All right. Then we have minus. So minus basically, so this is query one, the data from the query one. This is the data from the query two. So if you do query one minus query two, so it will give you the results which are in query one but not in query two, right? So basically, query one minus query two, what it does is whatever the common items that are there, it will basically remove that and it will only give the ones which are available in only query one. For in this example, query one minus query two, this particular first row is common between these two, right? So that will get eliminated. This row is only available in query one and not in query two. So that would be the output. Okay. Similarly, if you do query two minus query one, this is the only row that is available in query two but not in query one. So that record will get output, right? So that's the main purpose of the minus square. Now we'll see with an examples again. So for this, I'm creating two small tables. So employee one and employee two. So I just have ID and name. Okay, so these simple two tables that I'm creating. So let me execute these two tables first. All right, and I am inserting some data here, okay, into the table one, which is employee one. So 1 Amit, 2 John, 3 Neha, 4 Sarah, 5 John. Okay, so let me execute this. All right. Similarly, for the employee two, I have the data here, just 5 records. Okay, so let me see the count first. Select count of star from employee 1. So I have 5 records. If I check employee 2 also, I should have 5 records. So totally I have 5 and 5 records. Okay. So let's do select star from employee 1. So if I do a select star from employee 1, see I have 5 records coming from the employee 1. Okay. Similarly, if I do select star from employee 2, I will have 5 records. Okay. So total 10 records, right? So if I want to combine the data from employee 1 and employee 2, so what I can do is I can use union all. So I will say union all select star from EMP2. So what it will do it will basically combine both this employee 1 and employee 2 data. So 5 records and 5 records, you will end up getting 10 records. Okay. So you can see here. So observe here, right? So you 3 Neha, these are basic 4 Sarah. These are duplicate records. But because we are using union all, it will basically retain all those records. If you want to eliminate if you want to eliminate duplicates, so you use union. So if you use union, what will happen is it will basically give you, it will eliminate the duplicates and it will give you only the unique records. See, instead of 10 records, we have 7 records. So that's the difference between union and union all. So union, because it eliminates duplicate, right? It also does an extra operation than union and all. So union is typically slower than union all. So if you are very sure that you do not have any duplicates, or if you are okay getting the duplicates in, then you can use union all. So it will be much faster. Okay. All right. So I also talked about the number of columns has to be same, right? So let's say I would say ID comma name, and here also I would say ID comma name. See this ID data type, right, is basically number, correct? So this also is number, correct? Where is it? Yeah, both of them are numbers. So this is number, this is the first column. So the first column of this query is number, the first column of this query is number, the second column of this query is varchar, second column is varchar. So those data types are matching, so we need to check as per this, right? So now if I execute this, I will not have any problem. Okay, cool. But if I just remove this, if I remove this, right, so here you have only one column, but here you have two columns, then you will end up having issue, right? So query block has incorrect number of results column, so that is not allowed. The other thing is I cannot say ID name comma ID, or let me just say like I will take ID here, I'll take name here. Okay, so this is also not good. Okay, because this is ID, so which is number, this is string, so you will not get the output because it says the same data type, it should have same data type. Okay, so if I say ID comma name here and name comma ID, that will also give you the wrong, that will also not give you the result. So if you give, see again the same data, because it is comparing this, the first column with the first column, so it will not just look at the column names, it will just look at the position. So here the first column is basically ID, in this query the first column is name. So here data type is number, here it's varchar, so that is why it is giving you an error, because the data types don't match. So now sometimes what happens is, okay, you might see that a particular table might have a value in numbers, but then the data type is string, right, varchar. So you are getting the numbers in that data type, but it is basically varchar, and there is another table with the same similar data, but it is now ID is number. So you are basically trying to union between a number and a varchar, which you will get an error. So but since you know that the data is same and we made a mistake in the data type, so what we can do is you can convert this data type. Like for example here, if I want to union this two, it will not work. But I can do the conversion. Here I can convert this ID to varchar. So I can say to char of ID. So now what will happen is this will now become string. This is already a string. So if I execute this, see, I will have the data. So sometimes you will have to do this kind of things. Okay, cool. Now let's let's look at the other examples as well. So we have seen ID. Sorry, we have seen union and union all, right? So next we'll see intersect. So intersect basically gives us common data between these two records. Okay, so if I execute this, see Neha, Sarah, John. So these three records are there in both employee one and in employee two. Okay, so if you want to check this, I can say, hey, select star from EMP1 where ID in 345. So you should get three records here. This is validation we are doing. See, and if I do two, also I'll get the same records. Okay, so this is intersect. Now, if I do a minus, right? So I will basically let whatever the data is coming from this, right? If that data is not available in here, only those data will come. So basically, let me execute this. So if you do see Amit and John, see these two records are only in employee one. They are not in employee two. Okay, so you can check this here, 1 comma 2, right? So this records are only in employee one. So if you execute in employee two, this one, you will not get the data. If you change it to employee one, you will get this data, right? So similarly, let's also check from employee to this query minus this query. So employee 2 minus employee 1, let's say we have 6 7, right? So 6 7, so this 6 7 is available only in employee 2. So if I select in employee 1, you should not see this record, but if I do in employee 2, you should have this record. Okay, Rick, see, so this is all the set operators. So union all are like very, very common. We always use it. Mine is also another thing that which we use very common. So typically like for testing. So let's say you have a source data. So source is our data, source data we have loaded into some target tables, right? And so if you want, if there is no transformations, which means like we are not dropping any records, right? Uh, or if you have done some transformations, right? So what we typically do is target minus source. So we do a minus or the target minus so to see like if the data has changed between target and source, right? So if the data has changed, that means like there is some transformation that happened. We have made some modifications to the data before we loading it to the target. So this is some kind of things that we do along with the count stuff. So this is like something which we do for the validation. Okay. All right. So this is all I have for this session. I hope this was clear, and I'll see you guys in my next class.